I'm going to get us started. Looks like we have 23 participants joining. So thank you all. It already hit record, but we're actually going to maybe cut off that first part and start it right here. So I'm going to do an official welcome and get us going. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gener8tor. I am the Executive Director of NCW Tech Alliance. And if you're not familiar with our nonprofit, we support programs in technology, entrepreneurship, and STEM education. And we are really excited about the partnership we have with Gener8tor, the Apple STEM Network, and Microsoft that is bringing a really exciting skills program to the region. This skills program is free. It's an incredible resource for those who are looking to reskill, gain new employment. And our team at Gener8tor is going to talk a little bit more about what that is, in a minute, do a presentation, and at the end we'll have lots of time for Q&A. So please put your questions in the chat, let us know, and of course reach out afterward. Before I turn it over, I just want to plug NCW Tech Alliance does about 45 different events and programs throughout the year. We have a couple coming up these next couple upcoming weeks. So starting with next Thursday, we're hosting an entrepreneurial panel about funding for your business. If this is something you're interested in, or you're just looking for great networking opportunities, it's a free community event. It's at Pybus Public Market from 4:30 to 6:30. So just register and come on down. We're also hosting regular happy hours. Our next one is going to be May 5th in Wenatchee at the Blossom and Brews Beer Garden at Apple Blossom. And then we have our biggest event of the year, the Flywheel Investment Conference, May 18th and 19th. So be sure to check out information about all of our programs, and we'll be sure to email those out later. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it over to our team from Gener8tor. I will let them introduce themselves, but Gener8tor, we've got Cole Shearer. He's a VP of the Skills Accelerator. He's going to be sharing more about the programs available to our community. And with that, Cole, I'll let you and Tia take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny. I just want to say thank you for this partnership. It's been a pleasure working with you. And I know Tia Torres, who's on the call today, has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to bring this program to life in the community. So we're really excited to talk a little bit about Gener8tor Skills and what we'll be doing in Central Washington. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and walk through a little bit about Gener8tor and the program that we'll be running in Central Washington coming up very soon here on May 2nd for our first cohort launching. Let me know if anyone has issues with the screen. I know I say that every time I share my screen, but want to make sure everything looks good on everyone else's end. But I'll jump into things. I wanted to start off and just talk a little bit about Gener8tor, who we are, where we're coming from, and why we're running this program in the region. At Gener8tor, our mission is to be the best partner for a community to invest in its best and brightest. And we do that in a couple different ways. One being, or a couple being, we have our startup accelerators where we help startup founders grow their companies. We do that through investing in those companies. We do it through free accelerators. We do programming around corporate innovations. We have some programming around that. We even have scaled our accelerator into some initiatives with artists and musicians. So a lot of different initiatives, but all of this creating a large ecosystem around the country and ultimately around the world. But what we want to talk about today is our Gener8tor Skills Program, which is our free Skills Accelerator program focused on under and unemployed individuals with the goal of getting them back into the workforce and into roles that can support them and their families. So we'll spend a little bit of time talking about what that looks like, but I want to again take a moment to thank our community partners here in Central Washington, including Jenny and NCW Tech, Apple STEM Network, and Microsoft. Through this partnership, we're able to bring our program free of charge to not only our participants, but ultimately the employers that we end up working with also to place these graduates. So again, thank you, and excited to continue this work in the region. We have similar community partners across the country in our other areas that we work. We started off as a pilot program in Northeast Wisconsin back in August of 2020. We had 19 graduates, and now we've scaled our program to about 16 to 17 different markets across the United States, anywhere from Anchorage, Alaska to Orlando, Florida, New York City, and are excited to continue this work. So you're probably thinking, wow, this is some big corporation coming in and going to be taking over the region. But each of these communities that we serve, we really try to come in and figure out what the community is needing and address those needs in a concierge format. So depending on the community that we're working in, we're going to approach it slightly differently. And I know we have Central Washington people on the call, but so far this has been one of my favorite markets for us to open up. Everyone has been very open for conversations and been super helpful as we've kicked this program off. So want to say a big kudos to all of you for helping us bring the program to the region. In each community, we're going to address the needs depending on where there's talent shortages, seeing what employer needs are, and figure out which of our 10 career checks we're going to be running in the community. Fast forward to our first cohort in Central Washington, we'll be running a customer service and sales program, really addressing the needs of local employers to make sure that we can send our graduates your way with some customer service and sales talent. In other communities and in future cohorts in the region, we have the ability to be running financial specialist type programming, data analysts, software developer, project management, the list goes on. And you'll notice that we have program lengths anywhere from 5 weeks to 10 weeks long. The difference in the length of the program is because of the career track. So our more technical programs will be closer to the 10-week side, less technical, closer to the 5-week side. You're probably wondering how all this comes together, how we run our programs. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what the actual program looks like. When participants join the program, the curriculum that we use will be self-paced through LinkedIn Learning and Microsoft Learn. I always say, if you want to be doing this at 2 a.m., go ahead and knock yourself out. It's really designed in a way for participants to access the learning and the time and format that works best for them. We've had some participants working multiple jobs, and they might be commuting, they might be doing it on their lunch break, a single mom doing it at night when she has the ability to do so. It's really set up in a way that as long as the participants staying on track with the curriculum and the coursework, we're happy on our end and we're going to support you throughout the process. As far as support, we will be pairing each participant up with a career coach. You will be working one-on-one with a career coach, and we often refer to our career coaches as being the participant's chief goal setter, the #1 cheerleader, and the biggest advocate to help them succeed. They'll be working with our career coaches on deliverables like resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, interview prep, things that you would expect on the employability front. But these meetings are very open and really catered towards what the participant actually needs. I look at our career coaches almost as like the air traffic controller, pointing the participant in the right direction for different resources that they might be needing, depending on where they're at in their life. They might be going through a life crisis. They might need some additional support in other areas of the program. And this is their time to really focus in on how we can be most helpful to not only make sure that they're succeeding in life, but succeeding through the program, and then ultimately helping them through the job searching process. You're probably used to some different programs that you'll hear about in the press, and some of them might have career coaches. Those career coaches might be working with anywhere between 30 to 50, even sometimes more participants at a given time. And it's really important for us to cater our programming and as concierge type programming format as possible. So each of our career coaches, they'll be typically working with 15 or so participants at a given time, and really making sure that they can focus their energy on participants. We'll additionally have lunch and learns on a weekly basis. During these lunch and learns, we'll bring in some expert speakers, whether it's an expert in the career track, so a sales expert, a project management expert, or someone that's going to be experienced in resume building, interview prep, LinkedIn profile building, etc. We're lucky enough to have a partnership with Microsoft and LinkedIn, where we can bring in a handful of different LinkedIn employees, including the head of content at LinkedIn, and also some LinkedIn instructors, some LinkedIn learning instructors. So our participants will be going through the program. They might be going through our sales program and see a course by a dean who's a LinkedIn learning instructor. And then the following week, dean will come in and do a little bit more of an interactive lunch and learn with the participants. It gives them a little bit more context, a little bit more learning throughout the process, but also giving the opportunity to engage with these lunch and learn speakers ask their questions directly. And then all of our lunch and learn speakers will offer up maybe their LinkedIn profile or their email and be able to connect with participants long-term and continue building that relationship with them and just really see how they can be helpful. If anyone on this call or anyone that you know might be a good fit as a lunch and learn speaker, we would love to hear about them. If you're willing to make an introduction, we'd love to get them involved in the upcoming programming as a lunch and learn speaker. So I wanted to make that a call out, and you'll hear from me at the end of this presentation with a couple different things that we'd love some help with, but we are always looking for more speakers, more experts, and more people in the community that can engage with our participants. And then at the end of the program, we come to graduation. So all of our participants will receive a certificate of completion from Gener8tor Skills. We'd love some participant names on this certificate. We're excited to get more people into the program. But in addition to the certificate from Gener8tor, they'll also be receiving certificates of completion from LinkedIn Learning for each of the modules that they're going to be completing during the program. So to date, we have about 2,500 certificates our participants have received throughout the program, which we're really proud of. After graduation, it's not a handshake and see you later. We have a big focus on long-term job placement support and making sure that our participants not only learn the skills, but also use the skills in their new role. So we have what we call our employer network. We're working with over 400 employers across the country that have all agreed to work with our Gener8tor Skills team and make sure that our graduates from our program are able to get as good of a chance at their companies as possible. In some scenarios, they'll be joining us for hiring events and info sessions. Some will be giving them, they'll have Gener8tor Skills as a referral source for their program. Others, if we reach out to them on behalf of a participant, we can help them throughout the interview process. So out of those 400 employers, we have a wide range of types of companies to really address what that participant might be interested in, whether it's a specific industry that they're interested in, a size of a company. So we have employers that will be hiring maybe their first employee all the way up to, you know, their 10,000th employee and so on. So really addressing the needs of each of the participants. And then we have companies that are going to be hiring remotely across the country. And it's also a key piece that we want to make sure that we grow our employer network locally. So we'll be reaching out to Central Washington employers, making sure that we can address their talent needs and send our graduates their way. This will be another call out. If you have any employers or if you are an employer in the region that are currently hiring for various roles, we'd love to talk to you and figure out how we can best support the roles that you're hiring for. I often will refer to our placements team as almost like a free recruiter for employers. Reach out to us. We're going to have our network of graduates both in Central Washington and nationally, depending on what you'll be looking for. And we play matchmaker on the back end, making sure that we can put the best graduates based on what your needs are and make sure that we can play matchmaker and give you the best of our graduates. So I'll remind everyone then, but that'll be another good opportunity to engage with the program. We'll be doing a couple different things with the employers and a couple different opportunities for participants to hear about these roles. One of the key pieces during the program is we'll have mock interviews for each participant, and we'll bring in our Gener8tor team. We'll have some volunteers from each community come in and perform some mock interviews. I always tell participants that if you're going to fail in an interview, it's best to do it with us. They'll be receiving feedback throughout the process on the actual call. Our career coaches will convey different feedback depending on what the notes are on the interview, and really just giving that opportunity to build confidence before going into real interviews. We'll also have hiring events on a normal basis. We'll have hiring events where we're bringing in a selection of companies all together and have kind of a week-long hiring event to make sure that we can send some talent to those companies. And then we also will set up hiring events where it's going to be specific to a company. So pick a company and we'll have a full day set aside for that company. Everyone that will be interested in the company will be joining for various interviews, whether it's a specific type of role that that company wants to hire for, or a handful of different ones, and we can funnel in people for their customer service roles and their sales roles, their project management roles, etc. If you're not catching the gist of what I'm saying, is for employers, we're going to make it work for that employer. Every employer is going to have a different hiring process, different needs, and we just want to hear what's going to work best for that employer and make sure that we can set it up in a way that's going to be impactful. Last but not least, we'll send out weekly or biweekly job opportunity emails to all of our graduates, and we'll be saying those indefinitely until they say, hey, I'm good, we got the job, and I don't need to hear from you guys about this anymore. But these are going to be job opportunities that we identify as being a priority role. So either a role that we have a great relationship with that employer that we want to make sure people are applying to that position, or it's going to be an employer that we know is going to be hiring a decent chunk of people for that role, and we want to make sure that our graduates are taking a closer look at that specific role. And then we also will include just some ongoing coaching emails. So there might be an update about applicant tracking systems, ongoing support with how to apply for roles, cover letters, interview prep, etc. It really becomes the place that our participants and our graduates know to go when they're looking for roles, and know that they can get the most up-to-date information via that email. The other benefit of joining the program is we have an exclusive job board. So when people are joining the program, they'll receive access to our job opportunities, and all the roles that they are going to gain access to are again from that employer network and people that we are able to help get them through the process with. I think it's LinkedIn. They always say that you're 50% more likely to get a role if you know someone at the company, and we become that person at the company that can help our graduates receive the role. We again have a wide range of different types of roles, different levels of roles, whether it's entry level or more of a mid-level role, and then based on location and all those other factors that people will be looking at during the process. You're probably wondering, all right, it sounds like a great program. You're going to give them a certificate at the end. They're going to learn new skills. They're going to hopefully receive the new job. How do you find that? So we do that in a couple different ways, but our philosophy here at Gener8tor is really just to leave no rock unturned. And there's a very good chance that some of you on this call have already heard from Mackenzie, who's our recruitment manager. We're hard at work getting our information out into the community and making sure that this opportunity is well known and getting into the right hands. So I wanted to give a little bit of just kind of a flavor of some of the organizations that we'll typically be doing some outreach to. Hopefully it kind of jogs your memory on some people that might be good for us to connect with. So anything from kind of like folk rehab to food pantries, places of worship, veteran associations and groups, job centers, community centers, the list goes on. And our goal with recruiting is to reach out to these organizations that in theory typically are going to have under or unemployed individuals that they're working with, and we'll send them a packet of information that they're able to then share with their network and people that they think would be a good fit for the program. So this is our opportunity to continue building relationships in the community, see how we can be most helpful while also making sure that the word gets out about the program. So we'll reach out to those organizations, and then we'll also do some one-on-one outreach to individuals on LinkedIn. We do a lot of Facebook group postings and just Facebook and social media advertising in general. Here's a little bit of a breakdown. I know these colors probably won't correlate and there's a lot of things going on here, but this list on the right I think is helpful just to put in context some of the different channels that we're using. Again, places of worship, libraries are always helpful, different government agencies, our outreach via social media, radio ads. Jenny, I believe you were on an interview maybe a week ago, so I appreciate that. And just making sure that everyone in the community that should know about the program do know about the program. It is, at the end of the day, a free program, so we want to make sure that people know about it and have access to it. And that brings us to our upcoming cohort. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what we have coming up here in the region. Our first cohort will be launching on May 2nd. So that's going to be coming up very quickly here. We have an application deadline for as of April 25th. And we'll be focused on our 5-week program covering customer service and sales skills. Again, participants will join and work through that program with career coaches, have the long-term job placement support, and indefinitely support from the Gener8tor team. So when we're sending this information out, what happens when someone applies will be Mackenzie or someone from our team will reach out to them and just let them know we received your application, and detail some of the key dates for people to know about between now and when the program launches. When we're about 2 weeks out from the kickoff of the program, our team is going to be working through interviews. We'll be reaching out to every single person that applies, touching base with them, hearing more about their background, how we can be helpful, making sure they're a fit for the program, and just being as helpful as possible throughout that process. And then about a week before kickoff, we'll be selecting that official cohort. Participants or potential participants will receive an acceptance form from us and actually start the enrollment process. We work very quickly here at Gener8tor, and the key here is just apply, and we'll take care of everything from stage 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and make sure the participants feel supported throughout that process. And then obviously once they join the program, we'll be working one-on-one with each and every one of them. And I wanted to touch base and kind of wrap up this presentation with a couple asks that we have and ways of engaging with the program, things that we can use some help with from the people on this call, and then we can have some time for some Q&A. So first and foremost, for us to run a successful program, we want to make sure everyone knows about it and make sure that people are applying to the program. So we would appreciate anyone helping with us spread the word about the program to potential participants. And then as you're thinking about some of the organizations that could be helpful, we would love an introduction to them, or for you to pass the information along to those organizations to just make sure that the work gets out in the community. While we're in program, the Lunch and Learns are a great place for the community to engage with the program. So anyone that comes to mind, whether it's you or someone that you know that would make a great Lunch and Learn guest speaker, that would be a great opportunity for us to bring someone in from the community to talk with our participants. Last but not least, introductions to any local employers that are hiring. We would love to help them out, fill those positions, help our graduates receive work in the region, and see how we can just help that employer out as much as possible. So those are the 3 key pieces. We have affordable language for each of those buckets, and we can figure out how to share that out with all of you, or I'll also be sharing my contact information. You can reach out directly and we'll make sure that you have the information in front of you. But those are the 3 big buckets. And I would say the 4th bucket would be, if this sounds like a program that you would be interested in, apply. Go to gener8tor.com/skills, and then you can find the Central Washington program, or the link is /skills/central-washington. And with that, I'll wrap up the presentation side of the presentation here, and then see if there's any questions that have come through, and we'll take it from there.
Cole, thank you for the incredible presentation. I know we have a mix of individuals listening in today. Some of them may be job seekers and looking for the skilling opportunity. Some of you may be community partners of NCW Tech Alliance, the Apple STEM Network, or Microsoft, and have a wide array of contacts within your organization. So if you're one of those organizational partners, we encourage you to really help share the word. Like Cole said, if you're an individual who needs help answering questions, we can do that. It looks like we started populating some questions. You can put that in the chat or the Q&A. So it looks like Charles asked, will there be an expansion into other career tracks?
That is a great question. Our first cohort that we're running is going to be focused on customer service and sales, but we do have the ability to run the other career tracks in future cohorts. So what we're doing is looking at the specific needs of the community, combining what employers are looking for, seeing where there's talent gaps, et cetera, to make that decision. And in future, this is a great group to go to for feedback and make sure that we are running career tracks that would fit those needs. But we're able to run any of those 10 career tracks that you saw earlier in the presentation.
Excellent. If there are other questions from the group, please feel free to put that in the chat. We will follow up with an email to everyone who registered today with contact information, a link to the website where you can learn more, and you can also sign up if you're interested in participating in the skills program. I want to reinforce that this is a free program to any resident of Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Ferry, Adams, or Okanagan counties. So it's across a 6-county region across North Central Washington. Any individual can go ahead and register and start working and apply to be a part of this program. NCW Tech Alliance is really proud to partner with Gener8tor on this valuable program. So thank you to the team. And it says, can you repeat how to access program from website? It is not currently on the NCW Tech Alliance website, so I apologize. It's on some direct links and media we've been sharing. I'm going to pop that in the chat again, but it's Gener8tor, which Gener8tor has an 8 in the name. So GENER8 tor.com/skills/central-Washington. And we'll be sure to email that as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love Gener8tor, but we have to say it's with an 8. So take a look at the chat there. I know that a couple of people have put the link directly in there. So take a look, and we'd be happy to help out in any way. Looks like we got another question about being notified of future career track opportunities and future cohorts. Engaging with Jenny and her team, number one, keep them in the loop, and they'll be letting everyone know when we have future programming. But also send me a quick note, cole@gener8tor.com, or just go ahead and apply to the program. We have a waiting list for future programs, and we'll always reach back out to past applicants when we have new programs running.
That's exactly spot on. The Tech Alliance will add everyone who registered today to our monthly e-newsletter list. So as other opportunities pop up, of course, we'll share that about our partnership with Gener8tor. I also want to give one final shout out to any businesses that might be on today. I know Cole really highlighted that partnership with local industry partners and creating pathways to remote jobs across the country, but also careers that might be very local here. So if you're a business interested in getting involved, you can reach out to either one of us. Well, we are doing perfect on the time. It's 12:28. We promised 30 minutes. And at the Tech Alliance, we're always good at wrapping up on time so that we get everyone out the door as we promised. Cole, thank you again for the partnership. We're going to download this video and post it up on our social media channels so that if you were listening today and you wanted to share more of that presentation, you're welcome to share it out through social media as well. And we look forward to seeing you at a future Tech Alliance event. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.